it. Oh no, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
no. It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Hello everybody. I'm Em
And
and
I'm
this is
Kayla.
Kayla. Kayla will come back in just a moment. This is the witching hour. This is not a video game. This is this is just two friends trying their best right now. Wow, I've been doing so good with tech lately, honestly. It's
I
always a
know, and I
sound
was
issue that
it's
goes wrong.
honestly my fault because I was really hyping you up. So I guess probably made you feel nervous.
I think it's that, and also like I it's always a sound issue, and then this time I had like I got all the sound issues figured out, and then it was a video issue because of course it is. But here we are. Hello
Here we
everybody.
are.
This is the witching hour.
And
This
it's
is
2024. This is the witching hour in 2024.
this is the first, this is true. It's the first show of 2024. This is we've been doing the show for, has it been 2 years?
I, I in my heart, it feels shorter and longer than that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going to keep it like that because we were just talking about how time doesn't feel real right now. So I don't really want to get into the logistics of that
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
time.
Yeah, let's not get
Um,
into the nitty gritty too
Not in
quick
the nitty
yet.
gritty, except to say that this show is brought to you by the Trident Network, which is our three-prong network. It's run by Val Agnew, who is she watching right now? Who's to say? She's always watching in
And
a
if
way.
she is, she should
She
be sleeping.
she should be sleeping with her baby. Val had a baby. That's why I'm teching the show. And we do miss Val very much. Val runs the Trident Network, which is the reason that we're here. The Trident Network is a three-pronged network offering you digital content, live shows, podcasts. They can help you make your show come true. They're always looking for cool people, so give them a follow and a check out on anywhere you're on your phone. The Trident Network is there. Did I miss anything, Kayla?
No, I think now we can just invite people to, we're going to take you into our spiritual plane in just a second. So feel free, light up a joint, take a little drink of something fun, sit and go into your imagination land as we venture into a spiritual plane where we can freely express the things that Em and I think are kind of kooky, fun, and the way to live.
Absolutely. As you can tell, this is very we're going loosey goosey here. This is really, we love to talk about astrology and tarot and things, and our therapists. And we also don't take ourselves too seriously. We're two recovering comedians. And we're like, if
Oh my
we
God.
can learn and do this, then so can you. So yeah, like Kayla said, we're just all about, man, it's dark outside. Get a blanket, get a glass of water, get a snack, get your cat on your lap, get whatever it is that you need to feel good and grounded in your space right now. And we would love to all just ground ourselves together by first taking one deep breath together. And we'll do that right now. And then we'll take one more in. And if you have anything that you would like to inhale, we empower you to do that.
I did a gravity bong before this.
Damn, I want to hear about that. Okay. We thank thee for sacred directions. And with that deep breath, now
Oh,
we
we
fly.
fly!
And here's the thing is that we can't hear the music, but the audience can.
Okay, perfect. I feel this way a lot because I'm deaf in one ear. So
Yeah, we did this on purpose to show solidarity too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Honestly, I love disability allies.
Wow, 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 wow. Welcome to our spiritual plane, everybody, and thank you for listening to that music. Um, we're so happy you're here. This is where we come to smoke and hang out and
And
think,
think, figure out life.
figure out the cosmos. I just learned about more about dark matter this week. I learned about
Wait,
dark matter.
tell
I
me.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Wait,
We can't see it, but we know it's there because it's affecting the things around it.
wait.
It's
Because you
in
said you
space.
didn't like it, name one thing you might like about it.
It's mysterious. And as I've put in my notes today for Aquarius season, I think Aquarius people are very aloof and mysterious, and my toxic trait is I find that so attractive. And
I
so
get it.
yeah, maybe I don't like dark matter because I I have a
I was
crush
gonna
on it.
say, because when you told me that, I had the exact opposite reaction of like, wow, I really am one with the universe, I guess.
And that's why we're both here for the show, because we really give you that yin yang experience.
Yeah, hell
Um,
yeah.
wow. But yeah, I've been learning about space this week. But instead of being up in space, Kayla, you know how I like to begin my journey is with something that makes me feel like I'm more grounded, makes me feel
Yeah.
like the earth is on my side, make me feel like I'm part of the world around me.
Yeah. Are you talking about something like a sacred herb?
I am. And as you may have seen at the beginning of this scene, because I forgot to turn it off. Our herb of the day is it's sacred basil, also known as Tulsi, and I I learned about this through my old job at the coffee tea exchange because we sold it and we put it in a tea, and it always helped me when I was if I was ever like congested or had a cold or anything like that, or just felt like what my acupuncturist calls like the weakness or like the dampness. Tulsi
Ah,
really helped with just like I felt like it felt like a fire back in my body. And also just help the symptoms on there. Like, yeah, I did some research into it, and like it does have a long history of a healing thing, of being a healing herb. Um, and yeah, I can. This is one of the ones that I can say firsthand. Really helped whenever I was sick.
yes, I believe that. And I have two pieces of evidence on why I believe that.
Why?
One, there's this place, this coffee shop out here called Jurassic Magic. So cute, so fun, really reasonably priced coffee. And they have a basil and peppermint cold brew that is so good. And anytime I'm sick,
Ooh,
I feel better. Because sometimes, you know, cold brew
yeah,
when you're sick can make you feel worse.
totally.
But
Or
sometimes
like
you still
caffeine
have
in general.
to have,
Yeah,
yeah. But sometimes you still have to have the coffee because you have a day, you
because you
know?
have to still be up and do things because
Exactly. It's my
you have to
go-to. And
make
I
money.
really do now hearing this, I'm like, oh, it's probably the basil that is really helpful in it.
I wonder how much of it is like I mean I was looking up there are like certain like chemical properties, right, that are like anti-inflammatory, but like I feel like the peppermint and the basil, like I always whenever I see like a basil plant I love to like put my fingers on it and then like smell it. Same with
Yeah.
peppermint, anything that like stimulates the senses a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like it's waking up my brain and my nose, and it's also like clearing my passageways. I don't know how much of that is a mental effect and how much of that is a physical effect,
And who's
but
to say that the
and
mental
who's to
isn't just
say?
as important as physical? You know what I mean?
That's so true, Kayla. Uh, but yeah, I this is one of the herbs I now stock up on regularly,
Yes.
and it's my go-to. I mix it with chamomile when I'm feeling sick.
Oh, yeah. Wait, okay, my number two piece of evidence why I believe this is helpful. Do you ever get on your TikTok for you page? It's like this older woman who's like, she just does like she's an herbalist. Maybe it's like the American, and she has like kind of a little, it's like British but transatlantic accent. I can't even do it. I'm butchering her accent. But
I I'm gonna tell you right up top, no, but I do want to
oh,
hear more about her.
okay. I'll send it in the group chat or something. She knows so much about it, but she said that when you have like a cold, you should get basil, and like there's a specific word for it, I forgot, but you get essentially like like saran wrap or plastic wrap, and you get basil and you put it on there and then double side plastic wrap it and then wrap your feet with it overnight, and it's supposed to help draw out toxins like for when you're feeling like feverish and stuff like that.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I don't. That seems reasonable. It's that things would come out through the feet or the head, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And she like has proven stuff and is like certified and stuff like that. So I do believe it. It's not like
Is
a
her
random
name
lady in her house. That's what I
right?
have to
Wait,
bring up.
there's this person. It's not. There's this one person who she like wrote a bunch of books in the 80s, and she's very credible. Her name's like, oh, it's something crazy. It's like Rosetta Stone Star or something. It's like
This is probably the same person.
is it
Yes.
oh, I
Feels
know her
similar.
name. Is anybody in the chat? No, she's an
Yeah.
herbalist
Does anybody out there watching
from
know
like
what
the
the
60s.
fuck we're talking about?
Oh, her name is something really great, like Rosetta Starstone. Hang on. Ro-
Oh my God. What if it's the same Rosetta Stone that teaches us language?
I think the Rosetta Stone was an actual
No,
um
no,
wasn't that an
no.
actual
I believe it was this lady.
yeah. think it was like
I think it was.
I think it
Okay.
was like a so anyway. Well, we can talk about that in another
We'll
episode.
find it.
Um,
We'll find it and we will send it in the Discord, which we check regularly.
which we check regularly, just like our Slack channel. Um, wow. Oh, my screen froze, but now we're back.
And now we're
And that's
back.
live television, y'all. Um, so what I wrote in the script here, which we were talking about a little bit before we went live, was about how it's like a very sleepy January. Time doesn't feel real right now. Time feels like it's on a different plane. I think that has something to do with Aquarius season being here. I feel like Aquarians are very like just slightly floating above reality and kind of just observing, not in like an unemotional or cold way, but just in a very like alien in the best possible way, kind of.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I will say, did
Um,
you know that my Venus and my Mars are both in Aquarius and my Saturn? Well, people of my age, all of our Saturn are.
that does track to me. Does it feel right to you?
Oh my God, absolutely. And as I get older, it only gets truer.
Yeah, I do feel that with you, and I like that. What I used to when I feel like when I was first learning like tarot and signs, like I was always like, oh, Aquarius is a water sign because of the name, but the attributes of it, like I'm like, it absolutely is an air sign. Very just like a little bit like strange, like thinking of things, and very Aquarius people like will think of things in a way that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have even thought to go about it that way. Like just very like as if an alien was experiencing Earth for the first time and
Yes,
there's
I
no
think
tread pathways already.
it's like very like wacky energy and like a very
Yeah,
complimentary.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that now that we're like we've had a fucking month to settle down from the holidays and it's such a come down. I feel like we're both I it's been a very depressing month. Even if we have
Amen.
no particular like fucking hell. We're supposed to be hibernating right now, is what a
Yeah.
friend of ours said. I think that it's a good time to reflect on the coming year. It's a good time to Aquarius season is a great time for self-reflection because time is existing in a different way. We're not like I don't feel as focused on productivity like during this season. I feel um more apt to reflect. And so Kayla, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, I'm so excited. I have known this friend through for a while through Can You Imagine comedy. Can you imagine comedy? She is a wonderful reader, also a Reiki healer, and does really wonderful little retreats. So make sure you get her handles and social medias. But let's give a warm welcome to my sweet old friend, Radically Rachel.
Hey,
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
thank you for being here.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, this is awesome. You both are quite funny. I was just giggling along with you this whole time. It's been lovely.
Oh,
We
thanks.
love an audience. Thank you.
Yeah, we're just some silly geese, living life.
Um,
Did you bring a deck and a spread for us today?
yes, I did. I was thinking about how you were talking about just the kind of heaviness and really equating it to Aquarius season. But as you know, because we don't really begin the new zodiac calendar until Aries season, we're actually still in the old energy of 2023. We are still in the shit. And so we're still closing out old timelines and releasing what does not serve us. And so,
Yeah.
like, yes, like you spoke, like hibernate. Yeah, we should continue to like take a nod from the seasons and just like reflect and be so good to ourselves. And so, like, we're still kind of going through it also on a global level. And I think we are all connected. And so, like, we can't help but hurt when other parts of humanity are hurting. So, like, you both are not alone in what you're going through. I think it is like a collective thing. So, I wanted to add.
100. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
so just dropped in right there. And segue now. The kind of reader and practitioner I am, I'm a very free wielding witch. I know that there'll be lots of people that'll be like, this is how you do a reading, and this is how you bless your cards, and this is
Boo. We think boo to
a
that.
shuffle. No, and I'm just like, what
Hmm.
feels good? What are you feeling today? Uh,
Yes.
what feels good in your body? And I love teaching clients and people like so many ways to shuffle, right? So many ways to access your cards. So
Yes. That's such like Aquarius energy too, right? Of like there's so many different ways, and if somebody actually tells me a way to do it, I'm gonna find a different way.
oh, I love that. Yeah, yeah. I just like I love to tell people there's no right way or wrong way to tarot. Um, it's about the intention that you're setting in your heart, right? Wherever you're coming from in that space, I guess.
Hmm.
So
Ah. And that
I
leaves a lot
Totally
of room
agree.
for like evolution and change. I'm obsessed with that.
yeah. And being able to learn from others and just kind of like it's funny how TikTok is, right? We just see things and then we just keep recreating and such, but like that's all we are is like fractals of like creation that's like let's try to be different and better and learn something along the way and like take what we see and you use it too in our practice. So
Totally.
maybe today people will observe a little bit of the radically Rachel way, in that there isn't a right way, and they'll have a good time. Um, I find whenever I'm going to be working with somebody or doing like a reading of sorts, I can always, I don't know if you guys can hear my cat, but he is singing the song of his people. Whenever I'm doing energy work or working with people, my cats are always nearby. It's
Yes.
Mm,
that. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Dogs are the protectors of the 3D, our earthly realm. That's why they bark at the door when someone is near, right? They want to protect us. But cats are the protectors of the 5D. And that's why the Egyptians buried themselves with their cats. It wasn't just because they loved them so much, but because they believed they needed like to protect them on their journey. So I find that they're always like crying and talking to me. He's giving a reading right now as well, but
Thank
anyhow.
you.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah, it's my cat. His name's Rowdy. So he's just chilling here.
Thank
But
you, Brody.
Yeah, thank you, Brody.
Hey, there's no wrong way to do tarot, Brody, and
Yeah.
we thank you for your contribution.
Yes, exactly.
um so today I went to my mantle where I keep all my decks and I was like, what do you wanna bring today, Spirit? What should I work with today? So I have whenever I'm working with anyone, I always start with positive affirmations. I believe it is so important to claim good things out loud. And maybe the affirmations that come out when we're shuffling aren't going to resonate. Maybe it's not something we're really feeling in the moment. But I believe it's important to know that that's what spirit source, God, Goddess, divine, whatever you believe it to be, wants you to claim in today in this moment. So I'm going to shuffle and we'll see what affirmations come out. And then I'll ask you, friends, to read them with me and viewers
Oh
too,
yeah.
to say them out loud, not just in your head, but to put it out into vibrational reality. So I'm going to tilt my
Cool.
camera a little bit as I shuffle. So before I shuffle, I always do a little like opening prayer and I always say, God, Goddess, Spirit Divine, thank you for these new friends of mine. Help me to be a clear channel today so that whatever messages you have to come through for this collective will come through. Brody, too. Give everybody eyes to see, ears to hear, and an open heart to receive. And I lift up this time. And
Hmm.
that's always how I begin.
Thanks.
What affirmations do you want us to claim today? And I just shuffle them.
Abundance.
Whatever comes out, comes out. I love that. That's yeah, you're already claiming that as your and especially in your first show of the new year. May it be abundant and prosperous for you both.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
see peaceful too. Peace is what I need more.
Okay, we got two here. The first one, I'm gonna try to. Okay, it's I am driven. Can you guys say that?
Ooh, I
I
am
am
driven.
driven.
And then the bottom says, I move toward my goals with certainty and intention. I move
Ooh,
Mhm.
toward my goals with certainty
Certainty and
and intention.
intention.
I
So,
love that. And I feel like that goes with abundance and you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's that's a mindset you need to have if you want to there like I think we keep relearning. Beating yourself up is not any sort of you can't like lash yourself into growing. Giving yourself abundance is a way to actually grow and change. And I love
mhm,
that card.
yeah.
Yeah, and to have like a reason. You know what I mean? Like I think abundance comes from like passion and comes from wisdom. So also like I am driven is like the thing that like, oh yeah, even though I don't always have to be driven like on the highway speed. If I need to go to like the county road speed, it's okay,
Yes.
Mm.
right? I'm still
Yeah.
driving either
Still
way.
coasting along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Setting your own pace too, because like we
Hmm.
should not be comparing ourselves to the mile markers of anybody else's journey, because we are all so unique. And so just
Yeah.
like keep on trucking on doing your thing.
Yeah.
And our other one is very aligned, similar in like movement though, action oriented. I am intentional, and there's little footprints in the sand here. I am
I am
intentional.
intentional.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm.
And then it says, I move forward calmly and with purpose. And that's
Mm.
just as you were saying, we don't have to be going highway speed. I move forward calmly with intention and purpose, or with
Yeah.
calm and purpose. Um, that's awesome. Just making a little progress there.
Mm.
The
Love
next
that.
stack that I brought, this is from the author who wrote The Four Agreements. If you're familiar with that book, Don Miguel Ruiz, he wrote this deck called The Voice of Knowledge. And the way that I utilize this deck is to first kind of check in with like, what's my shadow, or what's my ego block, or like what is the subconscious like that I'm not seeing? What's in my subconscious, right? A moon, right? Something in that essence of like, I get it out of the way first. I'm like, what shit do I need to see? Show me that at the beginning. And so that's the deck I'm going to use in this moment. See what's, oh, fell right away. I got two here. This is the first one. Only the truth can set us free from the fear, drama, and conflict in our lives. That
Mm.
means like radical self-acceptance, radical
Mm.
acceptance, right? We can't control other people. We have to acknowledge the truth, and sometimes that's our own truth. And that is what sets us free from fear, drama, conflict. The back here says, when we release our faith from lies, we recover free will and make our own choices. And when we recover the power to believe whatever we want to believe, all we want is to love. What's coming to me in this moment is like the word faith to me. Like I grew up going to like church. My grandpa was a pastor. My parents were my Sunday school teachers. I like signed a purity card. And then I was like, just kidding, I'm going to marry a woman. And then I did a whole other life. I have had a whole other life. But like I grew up believing all kinds of, to me, lies. Like the Bible and like this religion that I was fed was lies. And I had to acknowledge that in order to deconstruct my old beliefs so that I could now grow in my spirituality and the way that I approach the cosmos, like, and the grandness of it all. So for me, I was like, I really had to acknowledge the lies that I'd been fed, and like the way the systems of this world, like the patriarchy, right? All these systems are set up to keep us in chains sometimes.
Mm.
But we
I
have
really
to,
love I really love what you say that like it reminds you of faith, because I think too sometimes as we're like deconstructing and learning about ourselves, we don't even realize what the lie is at first, right? But we can
Mm.
feel that something isn't true to us. So you have to have faith in yourself, right? To like really listen and like maybe sometimes later on discover what the lie is, but sometimes it can be hard to get to. So I love that you like brought those two things together. I think they really are like hand in hand.
I think we're like in society taught that like answers are outside of you, authority figures, politicians, church leaders, teachers. But like, I like to help people access your body as is your own oracle. You are the god, you are the goddess. You're,
Totally. Yeah.
you do
There's
feel.
definitely like self-reliance is sexy. It's like it's really it's cool and scary how like subjective everything is, right? Because like you can create your own truth, and then it's like that means a lot of us growing up, we were like susceptible to a different like subjectivity. We thought this was truth, and that caused a lot of suffering. And it's the whole, you know,
Yeah.
the objective thing can stay the true, and your reaction changes. Your reaction is what's causing the suffering. So this
Yeah.
idea of like truth and everything bringing you, if not an end to, you know, some negativity and suffering in the world, your own reaction to it gain like truth gives you clarity. It burns cleaner. It's a yeah, it's just a different sensation. So that's a
Yes.
very powerful card. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I love
Yeah.
that you said it's a powerful sensation because that's what it is, right? Like learning to listen and tune into how it feels.
Yeah.
When you're sitting amongst people who are talking lies, or when you're taking in media that is like, that's not truth. Um, this deck always makes me go like, oh, oh, and like really chew on things.
Yeah. I think
Mm.
that that is also like so Aquarius though. Because, okay, Rachel, you might know this more off the top of your head, or Em, maybe you will too. I'm pretty sure Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, right?
I'm not sure offhand.
I
I'm
think that it
actually
is.
not.
I
I
actually
would believe it.
ruled.
Aquarius ruled by what planet? Uranus and Saturn is what it
Yes.
says.
I was thinking that
Uranus
that's,
makes sense. Yeah.
I think Saturn makes sense though too, because I think something,
That's what I
if
was
you
going.
think about like the zodiac, right? It's like
Hmm.
Aquarius and then Pisces, and then you start over, right? So if you're thinking about the journey in that way, it's like Aquarius is like the final step of you like solidifying all these things that you've learned, if we're thinking Saturn wise, of like rules, responsibilities, but then learning how to like rebelliously make them your own with your own truth. And then you get to
Totally.
go into Pisces season and be like, this is what it is, bitch, you know?
Yeah, I think Aquarius really does embody like the ability to change your mind over the course of your life. I was raised but like being taught certain things that I did believe, and then it's cool to be like, hey, I did change my mind about something. And I think there's something to be said for like forgive your younger self for like the circumstances that were out of your control, things you may have said or believed in the past. Like we're all just living and growing and just keep on
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, that's why Rachel, I like love your like mythology or like theory about like really listening to yourself on the day of a reading, or you know what I mean? That really
Hmm.
allows us, because I do, Em and I do not vibe with the you have to be gifted your first tarot deck. You have to learn X, Y, and Z before you can know all these things. That is like defeats the purpose, right? Because it's reminding us that everything is constantly changing, which can be scary, but gives us such a new opportunity so often, you know?
Yeah.
And if it was so strict, then it's harder to move, right?
Yeah.
Aquarius is like a air sign, but it's also like the water bearer, right? It's like bearing us into Pisces season. So I
Mm.
love, yes, I just love everything about that. And
Yeah.
I feel like all of those cards really fit into those ideas, those
Yeah.
delusions that I'm choosing to for the today.
Yeah, that was great. And we had one more that popped out that you both, it's similar in the essence of like about believing the truth. Believing in the truth leads to goodness, love, and happiness.
Mm.
Believing in lies creates injustice, fear, and suffering, not only in the individual, but also in society.
Mm.
And
That's
so,
Pluto moving into Aquarius. It feels like very vibes.
yeah, just that like the systems that we create suffering within, right? So even within a spiritual community, to be like, well, you need to be gifted your first deck. Well, that's just creating rules and regulations and like a structure.
Yeah.
It's like, no, fuck that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Ugh.
and then so I'm like, I have two more little decks here. The next one I was going to use was my tarot deck, which I wasn't gifted. I bought it myself,
Hell
maybe
yeah.
a decade or so ago. I guess the first tarot deck I ever interacted with was one that my mom got at like a sex lingerie party or something. Like she brought it home and I was like, "What's this?" And I was like 15 and I dabbled with that one. But and then I have another deck that is sacred geometry, vibration, energy activations. So, and that's kind of like, what's the frequency right now? So we'll end with that. So here's our tarot messages today.
Yay.
Thanks, sex lingerie shop.
I know.
Yeah,
What would they do
right?
without you?
So random. Like you can go home with some lingerie, a dildo, or a tarot deck. I
They
I
guess
also
got
feel
bored
like
of
that is
time.
like of the times. You know what I mean? Like tarot is for like kinky sex people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
mm,
they got bored of the Tupperware parties and they kicked it
Yeah.
up a notch
Yeah.
with that.
yes, you're right. Yes. Okay, so we got oh, just knocked over my spindrift.
Oh no.
That's
Oh
my
dear.
addiction.
I hope Brody can have some.
Pushed all my cards away. Okay. Um, got 4 cards came out. We have a lot of crystals in the spread today. I have 3 crystals cards. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the universe, which is the universe in my deck, the world, maybe in traditional decks. I'm sorry, I'm struggling
Mhm.
with how to hold it up here.
No, you're perfect.
We
Sometimes you have to be
gotcha.
like right in front of your, yeah,
Universe.
perfect.
But she was upside down. And so that's definitely tapping into that energy that we've already been speaking today. But both of you
Mm.
talking about just not feeling like your highest vibrational self. I came in and I was like, yeah, the whole world is suffering right now on a greater level. So I think that that's just kind of like there's a lot of turmoil, suffering right now. Um, we got the 3 of crystals, the 4 of crystals reversed, and the 10 of crystals. So crystals cards, all about the earthly realm, could be money, could be career, are ways in which we're making meaning in our life and the way that we are structured to like our home, our relationship with material things. So I'm going to start with the 4 of crystals reversed. I'll show it in the upright for the imagery on this deck here. The 4 of crystals reversed was the one that came out first. In the upright, it speaks about an energy that is like fixated and frustrated and too focused, where you're not able to see the big picture. And so, like in the reversed, it's like coming out of that suffering, coming out of being fixated and stuck on, like we were speaking about, like oppressive forces, religion, could be society. Um, and then with the 3 of crystals, I'm like, the 3 of crystals is all about coming together. Threes are always about collaboration. Gotta bring myself in here. Collaboration, unity, success. The 3 of crystals speaks of success and like triumph. Um, and then the 10 of crystals in the traditional writer deck, it's like a married couple and a mansion and a dog and a garden. And so my imagery here is much more just cosmic and plain. But the 10 of crystals being just like a pinnacle of happiness and joy. What I'm feeling in this moment is that, sorry, collective viewers of the Trident Network, in this moment, I think these 3 are the 3 of us. And so I know which one of these 3 I think I am. I wanted to ask Em and Kayla, did either the 3 of crystals or 4 of crystals reversed or 10 of crystals resonate with you as like an energy that you're just tapping into or feeling lately? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Hard to be so direct to be like, I think these 3 cards are the 3 of us, but I know which one I think I am, but I don't want to project
Ooh.
at you. Does that make
That's
sense?
so interesting.
So I know that, so I'm thinking pentacles. I'm assuming that's the
Yes. Oh yes. And
connection.
yes,
And
because my deck is both
which
crystals.
same
Yes,
same
pentacles.
difference for sure. Yeah. And I mean, I think the 3 of crystals is resonating with me. Or 3 of pentacles. Was that the reversed one or was the 4 the reversed
Upright.
one?
And this
That one
is
was upright. Okay.
skill, career,
That's
determination. So like that
Hmm.
driven abundance. But 3s always represent cooperation, collaboration, teamwork. This one was upright, and this is a card of success and victory. So this is was the positive energy. And
I know. I do. I'm glad that you said that because I do feel reversed for. Like I feel very like self-protective energy,
okay.
like very, very
And
protective.
I don't always go to my book, but I want to go to my book for this one because I'm still trying to be better at learning more verbiage when it comes to reading reversals because I am a reader that believes in reversals, but I don't want to always just be like, it's the opposite of what the upright means. Do you know what I mean? So this message
Totally.
for Kayla, but whoever in the collective that maybe feels 4 of crystals today. It can be an indication of excessive materialism or a fear of poverty. So, just like worrying about bills or worrying about income. It can also mean spending too much time focusing on work and not prioritizing your energy in a healthy way. Try spending some time with yourself if that's what recharges you or with the people you love. It's a time to maintain balance, or else opportunities and experiences may go unnoticed. Um, any thoughts, any things you wanted to add since you claimed it as your card?
No,
Sorry.
absolutely. Everything is, it's like just stressful, kind of stressful times. And sometimes you forget that even though you love so much in life, when things feel unbalanced, sometimes you do have to reprioritize things. And that includes protecting financial assets, protecting your mental health, protecting your physical health. Some you can't do everything at once. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's a hard decision to make. But I think that that's like the promise of fours too, because fours remind me always like the four sacred directions, the four walls of a house. They're very like cozy and they're very wanting to hold you. And so when I feel that way, it's a reminder like, oh, how am I holding myself? Because I'm the one that creates my reality. And I don't like what's happening right fucking now?
Yes, yeah. And you talked like about pulling away or retreating a little bit, and that message there was like, well, that is what you might need to do, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Withdrawing or and going in those four walls, and there's a door, and you can have friends and visitors come
Yeah.
see
Well,
you.
I mean, we're not at the spring equinox yet, right? We're still hibernating.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Absolutely, we are.
Um, the when I read it, it resonated with me as this weekend I led a spiritual retreat. I started launching retreats. It was the first one I've ever done. I had 5 individuals, and broke down some things I've been having related to my own fears related to income or poverty or money. Because working as a card reader, I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this to be a millionaire. I don't expect that in this vein of work. I want to help people. I want to help people access their own oracle. But I have to like know and just trust that I'll be provided for in other ways. And I just have to get off that vibration of like fear, because I've been too in that frequency of fear. And that doesn't allow you to create. You can't create when you're afraid and you're stuck in the root chakra, because sacral is right above that, and that's creative play. So in the last like I didn't have a sacred plant medicine journey this weekend, but I felt like I did. But in today, the energy that I felt around me is very 10 of crystals, where like all day I've been like, I'm rich. I'm so abundant. My cat, I love. And like, I just all day been like seeing the world with these new eyes of like, I am loved. I have beautiful friends and family and partners and people. And like, I'm so rich, but that's not a word I've been allowing myself to use, and that has just shifted my perspective. It's the glasses I've been wearing today. From yesterday I was 4 of crystals, today I'm 10 of crystals. Nothing has changed other than the glasses that I'm wearing and my own perspective. So
Yeah. That tarot will get you
Totally.
that way, refocus
mhm.
you.
um and so M with the 3 of crystals there, it's speaking a little bit more about the sacred magic and union that comes with collaboration, teamwork, reaching a state of accomplishment after hard work. And you shared with us at the start of our call today, it's your anniversary. And so to me, that's like, that's that. This the collaboration and like beauty of the success of your anniversary too, because pentacles being related to the earthly realm. So I think that's kind of cool.
Thank you. I wasn't even making that connection. I was thinking of I was of a much more like boring like career like because it's a lot about collaboration and taking steps towards success. And I thank you for connecting it back to that. It's very sweet. And I would agree. I think it's very three, as you said, is very much union of like parts working towards a whole. And I think like yeah, today I was thinking I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been a year, but it's like it doesn't feel it's just you don't think about that in the middle of it. It's just like days that turns into months that turns into a year, right? Um I just described the way that time works.
Hopefully,
No,
hopefully
but that was good. It's a nice reminder.
yeah, hopefully for much like it's because all relationships are it's collaboration and teamwork and partnership. Can we do the work together where it shouldn't feel like, oh man, I'm counting the days because life is so, it's like beautiful that you're like, wow, we've had such a year, and it didn't feel like a year even happened at all, because you're just
Mm,
loving your time. You're loving it rather
Yeah.
than like recording it in the same way.
absolutely.
So our last deck here is a activation. It has like a lot of sacred geometry. It's just a vibration, just a frequency. And so thank you both for allowing me to come on your channel, spend some time with you today. And I appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of your frequency, because you both are holding a frequency here on your stream, and I'm buzzing in like just trying to be in harmony. So thank you for letting me come on. Um, Beautiful cards here. We got romantic love, as we were just speaking about Em and Mary Jane today.
Okay, Em, the frequency is live with you.
Wow, sorry. This is coming across the radio waves here.
Yeah. But
No,
also,
we love
like,
it.
there's other people here in the collective, and so I can't see the chat right now, but I'm like, this maybe will mean something to
My
some.
partner's right behind me, so I think that's
Kathleen, this
why
is for
maybe it's
you.
coming through.
And I also, the reason why today I was like 10 of crystals, my life is like my partner and I recently began expanding our relationship capacity where we're kind of exploring poly and other things. And so like I have a new partner, and so I'm just like, I have a crush, I have a crush. And so like this has been my frequency as
Hell
well.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with, but reflection of having a conscious lover. So, like, we really begin to see ourselves more truly, and we begin to be our more authentic selves as we can see ourselves mirrored in someone else. Like, the things we're attracted to in others, those are just the beautiful things that exist within ourselves. The things we like about our partners or friends or the people we have close, those are just beautiful traits in us, just mirrored back. But we're drawn to them and attracted to them because they are reflected in us too. And then the other one was Cosmic Flower. Cosmic Flower. In this frequency, activating our remembrance of the place that we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. And so right now it's winter time and we're hibernating. We need this time for our seeds to be able to like expand, but it's not time yet to maybe bloom our flowers yet. But winter is important because we're storing and creating magnificence that will bloom. And so I wanted to, it's coming to me that I want to say, like, for anyone right now that is like sowing the seeds, or you're digging the holes to even put the seeds in, or you're just watering, or you feels like nothing is growing, you're building a kingdom, and kingdoms take time. Everything takes time and patience. And when you feel like you're not making progress, look at the seasons and remember that there's winter. And so you need time too, hibernation as well. That's what comes to me as we see this cosmic flower today. So
Yeah. Oh,
thank you.
that was so
Thank you
beautiful.
for
Thank you
allowing me.
so
Thank you
much.
for sharing that.
Okay, and I'm putting in the chat right now. All of your handles are at Radically Rachel, right?
Yes, yeah. Just don't forget the extra A, because when my mom named me, she knew I was gonna be just a little bit extra. That's what
Yes,
I tell
I love
people.
that.
We'll drop that in the chat. And do you have anything thoughts or things coming up for you, or a show, or anything you want to leave us with today?
Um, no, I just really appreciate the opportunity to share energy with others that are like-minded. This is my first time ever being asked to come on a show and talk or be a part of like a collective energy, and just it's so fun to share with both of you and get to learn from you both as well. You both are much more zodiac witches and warlocks than I, and so I'm like, you're teaching me a lot. So I appreciate that.
We
Oh,
really appreciate you sharing. I feel like we all teach each other something. We all have something that we've picked up along the way. It's all collaboration. And so we're so happy
Be a
that you wanted to
crystal.
join us.
Yes.
yes, thank you so much. And I
Yes.
can't
Thank
wait
you,
for us
Jen.
to connect in other different ways in this life too.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
ooh. Wow, Kayla.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I think that we should do a spread with our lovely audience. That was really cool that we did a spread. That was really that just aligned with the three of us together.
Yeah.
I
And we're
love
gonna,
to see how.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, just I was just gonna say I love to see how the energy of three specific people, how that specific combination, whatever that makes.
I'm like
And that's
obsessed with threes. Threes are really my
mm-hmm.
favorite number. I'm like one of three siblings. something comedy, roll of threes. I love a little graph. I love framing in threes. I vibe it so hard.
Wow, do you think we should do a 3-card spread?
I think let's do kind of like a wacky Aquarius 3-card spread.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea because we've got classic 3-card spreads. We've got things like past, present, future. We've got um mind, body, spirit. But today we're
Situation,
gonna
action,
do
outcome.
situation, action, outcome. That's another one. But this is gonna be a communal spread. So for all of you lurking who are watching, I can see you watching because I'm an admin and I can look at the people who are watching. And so for anybody watching who's been lurking and not chatting, this is the time to participate in the chat because we know everybody has opinions, and especially on this is serious, this is real.
This is serious. What you're saying right now will be in the
Will
books, our
echo
books.
into eternity. And what we're talking about is fuck, marry, kill. This is gonna be 3. So like I was saying before, I think Aquarius, a lot of great traits for Aquarians. Very like alien in a very cool way, like just a little bit detached, very analytical, very like a little bit aloof. So we chose 3 cards that are like very much Aquarius. And can we get their attention? Can we figure out what's going on in their minds? Let's figure it out. The first one we have is the star, which is every zodiac sign is like a major arcana card aligned with it, and the star is for Aquarius.
Yes.
It makes a lot of sense. Naked
I love the
lady,
star.
cosmic star energy. Do you draw the star a lot?
I feel like I do when I am most confused. I draw the star a lot. When I'm going to my
Mm,
cards with confusion, and I feel like it reminds me to keep because my Mars and my Aquarius, I was gonna say my Mars and my Venus are in Aquarius. So I feel like it's a
mm.
reminder that like you gotta have like one foot in the water and like one foot in the air to like check the wind. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like the star is doing. It's reminding us that we can do multiple things to make the correct choices, right?
Totally. Very much like alignment, universal
Yeah, the
energy,
stars are there.
tapping
You're reading the
into,
stars. You're seeing how the water
yeah,
is moving. You're feeling how the ground feels.
totally. Yeah, that does feel like something that would pop up when you're like in need of direction, of just
Yeah.
realigning you. Hmm.
Kind of like, yeah, what Rachel had said before, like we do have the answers. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't know what the
Hmm.
fuck they are, but they're there.
Yeah. Rachel even says in the chat, it's good to get that reminder. Don't forget the star that you are.
Yeah, shining star.
Shining star.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The second card I have for this spread is the Fool.
Ugh.
Also very much Aquarius energy. Just like,
Why is the fool so sexy to me?
why is the Fool so sexy? Very, you know why? Because they have that like rich, like that like trust fund kid energy where they don't worry about anything. They're just so carefree.
Yes. And that's like ultimately, I want to live in that delusion. I don't have the
Yeah.
money for it. I don't have a trust fund. You know what I mean? But like, that to me, it's like, let me be your trophy wife. You know what I mean?
Because they do it. Well, there's like a reason there's so, like that like nepo babies like, oh my gosh, I have time to do art, so yeah, you're going to be a successful artist because you have time to hone your skill. And like that is also sexy, unfortunately. I think the Fool is very Aquarius because of like looking at things with new eyes, new solutions, like very much not bogged down by like the way things have always been done.
Yeah. Like
And
a
they
new,
and they have a tiny little dog too.
yeah. And they don't have too much baggage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just like open, free. Which like, that makes me think like, are they marriage material? I don't know if they're really a commitment
Something to think
person.
about when you're fucking marrying or killing.
Something to think about when you're fucking marrying or killing, which let's not forget this is all about. Our third card of the spread is the Knight of Swords. Um,
Mm.
very Aquarius because Aquarius is very, I also think also very like passionate about the things that they believe in, very much forward action. Let's help people. Let's get to the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah, very like
Um,
standing in your own truth, right? You're like robed in your passions. You're ready to go forward. You're
yeah,
skilled in your swordsmanship, but not you're still a teen. You're still kind of silly.
it is very much like like a puppy who like has like grown up and it's like, oh, new muscles and like big lip, but like they just don't know how to use their limbs quite yet.
Yes.
So strong but not quite focused, very young, you're
Yeah.
right. Like not very like wise, but very like passionate and forward. I feel like I can see Aquarians can be so aloof, and then sometimes it's funny to see like then them get like worked up about a very specific topic.
Because I think Aquarius, I think I said this before too, it's still giving also some stubborn energy. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I do think this actually, I thought this was going to be really hard, but then ultimately it gets clicked in. And I know what I'm going to say is my final answer, and I'm going to stand to it. The most important decision I make today.
I think we might have the same answer. Do you want to do it at the same time?
Okay, wait, are you going to go in order of fuck, marry, kill, like how it's listed on the screen?
Yeah. Or actually, same time doesn't make any sense. I'll just go first. I'm gonna fuck the fool, marry the star, and kill the Knight of Swords.
Oh my God, we were literally so close. But I'm going to marry the star, kill the fool, and fuck the knight.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to do it. I had to kill him because I'm gonna marry the star, so like I don't need the Nepo baby's money.
So we're both marrying the star, but we're killing each other's lovers.
Oh yeah, okay. And Rachel
None
said,
of us were the same. Rachel
star.
said, fuck the star, marry the Knight of Swords, kill the fool. Well, you
I'm
guys both killed the
obsessed
fool,
with
though.
this.
Wow.
Well, I
We
get
did.
it because the fool, no offense, Em, has to be killed.
Why?
Because I'm annoyed. There's no other
By the
reason.
fool?
There's no other
Yeah.
reason. There's like because I did what clicked for me is I imagined we were on a date. And we're
Uh-huh.
like at a bar and he's had this energy to me is giving like a little masculine, but I know it all fluctuates, whatever. But in my mind, because we said Nepo baby, to me, he's had one too many Sazeracs. And he is
Mhm.
going to keep telling me things that are like, when sometimes guy, like really
Fool
rich.
has not done his work. The fool
Yes,
has
that's
not
what I
done his
mean.
inner work.
I'm going to have to
For
be
sure, for sure, for
He's not
sure.
on your level.
I'm going to
He's
be
not on your
explaining too
level.
much. Yes, I'm going to be explaining too much. And they're going to be like, but we're all equal. And I'm just going to be like, I can't explain this one more time.
Totally. I think that I would take advantage of them for their money and like go out and have a really nice time and have a
And I
really
respect
nice
that.
night out and then like have sex, like just like get all of mine out of it and then just leave it. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel bad about it at all.
I think that I respect it. But I am going to be fucking the knight because like I do feel like the knight to me gives very like switch and verse energy. So we're like going to be having fun sex. And then I'm going to be like, don't call, don't text me,
Yeah. They'd be pretty passionate. They would like give you their all for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like the sword is also like phallic. So to me, that means like toys and like a little bit of kink.
Absolutely. Pegging is here to stay.
Yeah, forever. And
Knight
it
of
will
Swords
never
gets
go away.
pegs. And
Yeah.
it'll never go away.
Amen.
Wow. Amen. Wow. Well, we have one more answer, which is fuck the star, kill the fool, marry the knight. Okay. Our audience, same as Rachel, I guess our audience is aligned. We are not.
And that's okay because we're in this hibernation time. So we're all deciding, we're all processing, we're all figuring it the fuck out.
Yeah. Kayla, do you want to go to the moon forecast? What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's do it. Well, here we are. We usually do an advice segment, but you know what? We've been hibernating. We've been hibernating this month.
And it's kind of like you can't always give advice. You got to have some rest so that you can get the wisdom.
We gotta rest. Leave us alone. Don't leave us alone. Keep paying attention to us, and we would love to do. We'll do advice next month. But today, I'd love to talk about the full moon. We just had a full moon in Leo. It's the full wolf moon. Is also Tu Bishvat, which is a minor Jewish holiday. It's there's like a meaning in the Kabbalah, and there's like meanings that change over time. And currently, it's become kind of like a new year for the trees. Like it's become like a Earth Day kind of mentality, or at least that's like the interpretation that I've been given. But yeah, all these things fell on the same week, the same day. How have you been doing, Kayla?
I've been doing okay. I've been doing fine. I've been doing okay and fine. I just had therapy this morning and my therapist is like, "How are you?" And I was like, "I'm pretty neutral." Like I have been having a little bit of a little depressed mode. I microdosed today, so we're on the up and up. Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, it's been, I definitely feel what I was going to talk about. I don't know if you're going to talk more about the full moon, so you can talk about that, but I have really been feeling Pluto moving into Aquarius. But I think it's because
Mm.
I have pretty big Capricorn and Aquarius placements. So that shift has kind of trumped a lot of other stuff for me, it feels like.
Yeah. Do you want to talk more about that? Also, microdose on what?
Oh, shroomy shrooms, baby.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. I only
Yes.
ask because like my therapist has been like, "You want to try ketamine?" And I'm like, "Maybe."
Oh my God, could you imagine if I
Um,
was like doing ketamine by myself?
it would be heavily supervised. They like give you ketamine and they like hold your hand and
Yes,
like,
I actually
yeah.
have a friend who talks very openly about that saving them their life.
Yeah, I've a friend of mine has like PTSD from cancer treatment and used ketamine to. So listen, if I try it, I'll give you the full report.
Yeah, honestly, if you try it, sign me up next. I'm going in with you.
I will, absolutely.
Um,
Um,
just
but talk
shrooms.
about so microdosing on shrooms, and you said Pluto's moving into Aquarius,
Yes.
and yeah, talk more about that.
So Pluto, I'm learning more about because as we know, astrology, we're all learning. We're all constantly rediscovering what planets and movements mean for us and the collective. So Pluto is one of those generational planets. So it is what we're experiencing is going to be on a large level. It's going to be long term. It's going to be about our long goals, and it's going to be about like community change and how we are shifting our perspectives and things, right? Because Pluto is all about mystery and birth or death and then rebirth, transformations, how we are changing. I have my Mars and my Venus in Aquarius and my Saturn in Aquarius. So, Mars, we're talking about how we fight, how we handle conflict in those ways. And then for me, Venus, how you love, how you accept love, how you do those things. I also think so. Pluto, sorry, I feel like I'm ranting, but Pluto only changes every like 20, 20 or 200. Wait, hold on. I have this written down. Let me look this up and not be lying to y'all. Pluto is only in Aquarius every 248 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So like what we're experiencing is like really big and like really about how because Aquarius is all about rebellion, right? It's about re-understanding things. Kind of, I don't remember if I said it when we were in our little green room or if we were on the show, but it's like if Pisces is the end of the zodiac and Aquarius is right before that, it's like, how are we taking the information we have and making it work differently for us, right? So Pluto
Totally.
in my chart specifically is moving through. Aquarius is in my second house, which means that kind of rules money and values. And then also within like, how do I value love? Like in therapy, that was one thing that we were talking about, how I value love. And that isn't all just romantic, right? How do I love myself? How do I love my community? Um, have I thought something was love that is not? Am I redefining what love is to me? And then also something that is kind of scary, it's like money, right? Um, in my household, I split things with my partner, and I have kind of always been, I'm a Capricorn rising, and I love money. I love understanding money, and I used to love the hustle, right? But I think I can feel the shift in myself where I'm like, oh, well, my partner might be now having the more higher paying job. So where does that put my value, right? And there's a lot of other things
Mm.
that are valuable to running a household that are not capitalistic. And I think that that's part of me deconstructing capitalism, white supremacy, all of these things. I really feel that so deeply in myself. And I think that we're all, even though we might have Aquarius in different houses in our chart, we're all going to be collectively feeling rebellious change, right? That has to do with the powers that we have, right? Yeah, age of the lovers, reestablishing things
Mm-hmm.
related to our version of love. Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of changes. Again, I think collectively we probably need to watch out for binaries, right? Because I think, like I said too, it can also be stubborn. And when we have changes, sometimes the pendulum can swing so far one way that it swings back into the binaries of spectrums instead of seeing all the beauty in the in between. So I think, and it's like, I think my therapist was also saying it's like religion and faith and things like that too. So be mindful of people putting things in black and white when Aquarius really wants things to be wacky and rebellious and in your own sense of change, like burning it to the ground and rebuilding it with your new wisdom and understanding. Right? Does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. I like the like overarching theme of just like thinking things through critically on your own and coming to your own conclusions, and continuing to do that and reassessing and seeing if those conclusions change over time. Always checking in with yourself. And yeah, just because you have been doing something a certain way doesn't mean to necessarily keep doing it or keep thinking about it the same way. God, like so much of our suffering comes from like not just the thing that we're doing, but like how we think about it, or like the
Yeah.
rules that we govern ourselves with, or like do you ever just like rub up against like you're like, oh, I'm so stressed about this thing, and someone's like, why? And it's like, oh, I guess like I had this internal rule that I'm not allowed to do this thing. Like for me, it
Yeah.
was like frozen food. I'm like, oh, I had a frozen meal, and they were like, why is that bad? I'm like, because I don't know. I'm not allowed to do that, apparently. I don't
No.
know.
You
Like,
just, but what you do deserve is to be nourished. You know what I mean?
thank
In
you.
whatever way
I
is
think so.
convenient in that moment.
Exactly.
Something
Yes.
that I was thinking of too. Okay, we're gonna try to double Pisces this out of my head. But it's like Aquarius is not a water sign, right? But we all kind of say it feels a little watery. It feels a little damp for the air sign. But it's almost like if it's the water bearer, it's like you have to have Aquarius to get to Pisces season because you're like an old, brittle person. You know what I mean? And you just need a little drink of water, a little
Yeah.
rebellion, a little help. That's how maybe I'm gonna something about that is clicking and turning in my head. Check out my newsletter for February. We'll see if it checks in by then. But there's something there. If you're in the chat and you connect the dots before me, let me know what I'm thinking. But there's something about the vision of Aquarius bringing like an old person water to help get them finish out the cycle. Something about that is beautiful to me. And there is something about that that's going to be happening in my life. I'm saying it right now.
Check out Kayla's house if you want to drop your little tag.
Yes, thank you.
I've been thinking about the full moon. I did a full moon gathering this month. So did Kayla. I was inspired by Kayla. I want to hear about yours. Mine was fun. We like celebrated the full moon. It was a full Leo moon, full wolf moon, lots of themes of gathering. It was also Tu Bishvat. So like I said, it's like kind of all it's sort of celebrating a trees, and I just talked about how we know that trees also form communities of like underground mycelium networks, and you don't always see those networks. You don't always see invisible tethers between people, but it's still there. I like Kayla. I feel like you're in LA. I still feel very connected to you. And I feel like we need like more. You know how the Germans have like 70 words for love? We like need a word
Yes.
in that in the English language. Like our language is so limiting. But I've also been thinking about it's Aquarius season and like experiencing time in a different way. I feel like I've been more focused on people and relationships in my life. And what I've noticed is like when I've the times in my life when I've been like very on the grind of like performing, writing, being creative, and like always wanting to use my time in a productive way and always being stressed about that. And then I got to, a friend of mine, my partner and I, we have these friends who had a baby. It was a home birth, and they like invited people over to see the baby. We got to see this baby that was like 6 hours old and hold her. And I just remember like being in there and being just like, time was like moving differently. I was just like, oh, this is how people are supposed to spend their days. Like I would I would happily like I feel like maybe like 5 years ago I'd be like, I can't spend any like I have to get to this rehearsal and this. I'm like, I would happily like spend any day babysitting this little kid now. Like I don't know, like I experience maybe that's also getting older and just my goals and like values changing. But I don't know, it's a rambly way of saying like I feel like I've been focusing more on those sorts of things and like and wanting to be there for those experiences, which wasn't my focus before, or like wasn't my priority. Like I was fine with like missing family events and things like that for creative purposes, and now I'm like, not that that was good or bad, but
Yeah.
I've just noticed a shift.
Yeah, it's just a change.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, I've had a very big week. So this past week, I went to the birth, and I went to a funeral on that same day. And now today's my 1 year anniversary with my partner. It's just been like, wow,
Why?
life things are happening. It's yeah, it's very much like has anyone in your family ever said anything like they'll say just like, this is not a dress rehearsal or something like that. Like, I've heard people in my family say that, and it's kind of just like, this is it, we're doing like.
Yeah, that's so fair. Honestly, I wish people in my family would maybe say that more.
Yeah. um anyway, those are my thoughts this full moon. It's a little bit more rambly this time, but
No, I feel like
I
that's the
just,
vibe.
yeah, usually I have some more succinct answer, and today I was just like, here's a brain scramble of thoughts that
Well,
I'm just gonna pour out.
it is an air sign. We're in Aquarius. So air sign, I think like
That's very true.
there's a little delulu to it. You know what I mean?
There is a little, thank you so much. That is actually very validating. Aquarius energy is just throw it all at the wall.
Yeah, it's like, what is traditional? Just kidding. Yeah,
Yeah.
so fair. Well,
Um,
I would say on my new moon during the day, I was an audience member in Judge Judy or Judy Justice. She has a new,
okay.
she's rebranded.
Can you tell us what the trial was or what the case
Yeah. Well,
was?
okay. First of all, I'm about to talk my shit. Is here what I'll have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Is first of all, you get paid $400 to be like on the show. I was just an audience member, but to be like a
That fucking
placement.
rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then and if any money, well, I still got $200 to be on the show. It was awesome. But it's like if you are charged money in the court case, Judy pays for it. Like the show pays for it.
I did not know that. So no
Yeah.
matter what, there's no consequences and you're still
Yeah.
getting paid.
Not really. I mean, I guess there could be things that like things can be taken away from you technically, or like I don't know, but money wise, there's no, you're losing nothing.
Yeah. Damn. Um, I feel like you can make a whole living on that if you just kept showing up.
I know. That's what I will say. It's like really boring though. It's really, really boring. We filmed 7 court cases a day.
Oh,
It was kind of wild. You know what I mean? And like honestly, I don't I don't think she's gonna be watching this stream, but just in case I'll whisper it. I think she hates women.
Judge Judy?
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Does
Oh,
she?
a lot of her rulings were really misogynistic.
Mm,
You know, it was like some like women had restraining orders from previous actual court rulings, and she was like,
yeah.
that doesn't matter, you shouldn't have attacked this person. I'm like, I don't know, I think it was self-defense. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was really weird. It was weird.
Mm, don't
So
love that.
that's what I
You
have to say
heard it
about that.
here first.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is Amazon Prime's #1 show.
Judge Judy?
Yeah, it gets the most views of any show that it has.
Wow.
Anyway, that's the facts
Hmm.
that I have to come bring y'all on this that I learned on the Leo moon there.
That's the facts. Wolf moon, Leo moon. We're coming out of January. We're doing it. It's 2024. Can you believe?
I can't believe, I won't believe, but I am believing all at the same time.
We're a believer.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time to go ahead and close the circle.
Yes.
Oh, our screens got a little messed up again, but we'd like to thank everybody who came out here to roll with us on the video issues and talk about tarot. And thank you to Rachel for joining us. Yeah, we'd like to thank our chosen deities of the evening, which I believe are Janelle Monáe and Bella Ramsey.
Yes, Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, non-binary. Anyway, catch us next month. We'll be doing more of this, if you can believe it. This was brought to you by the Trident Network, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Go with grace.
Bye.
Bye.